Imagine if you're an 11-year-old boy and you love to hang out at the lake and play sports. One day you're cruising across the lake, tired from water skiing, tubing, and other water sports on a Saturday night. You stick your hand out so you can touch the ice-cold water when suddenly you hear a loud crash and a jolt of pain down your arm. A couple of days later, you wake up in the Brackenridge Hospital. You look down at your arm. It's not what you see. It's what you don't see. You see that your arm is missing and you remember the accident. According to the Austin News, an 11-year-old boy was severely injured in a boating accident on Lake Austin. With the recent discovery of an arm that grows, called the epiphysis, he will still be able to play most sports. The epiphysis is like a regular fake bone that is able to grow. An electromagnetic ray melts the material so the spring inside can stretch and make the arm longer. According to the Washington Post, the device can grow as quickly as 1/3 of a centimeter in 20 seconds. Sanders, who makes the epiphysis. James, another young boy, was the first to receive the epiphysis. According to the Washington Post, before the epiphysis, James, now 11, came to hate the full routine, the endless tests, the tubes in his arms, the hospitalizations, and other treatments that prevented him from going swimming or playing basketball with his friends. But the days of that routine are now behind him. James got the fake bone because when he was little, he was diagnosed with a unique kind of bone cancer. According to the Washington Post, about 2,800 children and young adults in the United States are diagnosed annually with some form of bone cancer. Said the American Cancer Society, lucky for those kids that they now have a growable bone that doesn't cause surgeries once or twice a summer. The boy in the boat crash who lost his arm is also lucky that they discovered the epiphysis. He can still do the sports that he used to do, like hanging out at the lake and playing sports with his friends. The epiphysis is a helpful experiment, and I'm glad scientists have invented it. Long live Bush! Long live Bush! Imagine if every day here at Westridge you had to chant little sayings about Bush and how he is the president and the leader. According to the New York Times, that's what kids used to have to do in Iraq. Wonder if every single time an adult walked into the classroom, you would have to say, "Long live the leader Bush! Long live the hero Republican Party!" That's what Iraqi students had to do. According to the New York Times, in Iraqi schools, Saddam Hussein was included in their everyday life and studies. He was included in all their subjects, even in all their textbooks. The New York Times reports, in the old books, geography was taught with maps, showing an Arab homeland with no trace of Israel. In English, the textbooks would include an essay by an Arab mother whose family was terrorized by Jewish soldiers. In science books, Mr. Hussein's pronouncements were mixed in along with the laws of nature. According to the New York Times, even mathematics had its political side. Iraqi students would learn math by adding 4 plus 28 because April 28th was their leader's birthday. At school, they had 4-hour-long parties on his birthday. They learned the multiplication table by computing the casualty count of shooting down 4 American planes with 3 crew members each, said the New York Times. In science class, they learned that Saddam brought antibacterial soap and drugs into their country. In gym class, the students would have to chant, "Bush, Bush, listen clearly, we all love Saddam," while exercising. In music class, they learned traditional children's songs, but with different words. For example, instead of saying, "The daughter of a merchant with almond eyes," they would say, "We are the boss, we have heavy weapons," said the New York Times. On Thursdays, the teacher would have to fire a rifle while the students yelled chants. According to the New York Times, we had to include him in every lesson plan or we'd be in trouble with the Ba'ath Party, said an elementary teacher. After Mr. Hussein's fall, some teachers and students celebrated by ripping his pictures from the textbooks. One student even tore out the pages and threw them out a second-story window while saying, "Bye-bye, Saddam." Some teachers, though, had a hard time ripping or crossing out their president. They used to rule their country and their life. There have been many changes in Iraq since the United States removed Saddam Hussein from power. Students are no longer required to chant and idolize him. Willie Nelson. No, not the famous singer. The short, stocky basset hound that is a part
part of my family. I would like to introduce you to one of my favorite members of the Watford family, Willie Nelson. Willie is a full-grown 8-year-old basset hound Willie's a full-grown 8-year-old basset hound that lives way up in North Carolina where my sister lives. Because he's her pet. He loves to eat and he definitely loves to sleep. I would have loved to have brought him to you, but like I said, he lives way up in North Carolina with my sister. Basset hounds, like Willie, have a long history and an adorable appearance that makes them great pets. Did you know basset hounds came from France? To most people, they don't seem like the French type, but it's true. The breed was first brought to the United States in the 1800s. The original purpose was to hunt and trap, and they hunted rabbits, hares, pheasants, and other small game. As you know, that has changed a lot. The word basset came from the French word basse, which means low, according to Dog Fancy magazine. Basset hounds were bred to hunt and track. They have long ears, so when they're on the trail, their ears will drag and stir up the scent. The breed used to have long legs, but it got out of hand when the dogs got sore from bending their necks so often to pick up the scent. Now, they're really short, so if they look forward, they're looking towards the ground. Some bassets are still used for tracking and hunting. When you see a basset hound, you probably think of a poor, sad dog who needs some love and care. That's not always true. They have a natural appearance for looking gloomy because of their droopy eyes. Basset hounds have the longest ears out of any type of dog, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. With those long ears, they can pick up sound remarkably well. A basset's nose and mouth are very large and could easily hide a bone or a tennis ball in it. One time, Willie decided to hide a bone from the rest of the dogs, so he hid it under the couch. Most dogs go and hide it under the couch, but not Willie. He hid it in his mouth. I believe bassets have the widest foot out of most dogs. Our Willie's feet are about 3 inches wide like a hockey puck, but he's only a foot tall. They need wide feet to balance their big body well. Bassets range from 13 to 15 inches tall, which is about a foot or more, and weigh 40 to 70 pounds, said the Book of Dogs. According to the American Kennel Club's website, basset hounds have the heaviest bones out of most dogs. They can live up to 8 to 12 years, but many times with good care, they can live up to 17 years old. Did you know basset hounds can't swim well with their short legs? So if you take them out on the water, they should be provided a life preserver. Also, it's not safe to leave your basset alone in an unsupervised pool area. And now Claire will show us some pictures of different basset hounds. Here are some other stuff I collected from my sister's room, because she has a lot of animals and stuff, and here are 2 different basset hounds, and she has this calendar, and it looks almost exactly like our Willie Nelson, and so I thought you guys should see what he looks like. Okay, today, basset hounds, in spite of their funny appearance, remain a popular breed of dog in the United States. What makes these Will Riders such a good family pet? They're incredibly sweet, gentle, loyal, and an affectionate breed. They usually get along with most pets, and sometimes adopt a younger dog, if you have one. The basset hound is a pet that will play with children, protect, and sit by an owner's side. This breed can be good watchdogs because of their deep bark. Bassets are not good lapdogs because of their huge body. They can also be extremely stubborn. For example, when we tell Willie Nelson to get off the couch, he growls and refuses to get off unless he's given food or sometimes positive reinforcement. Furthermore, bassets are known for being a talkative bunch. They tend to howl when they're alone or when sirens go by, due to loneliness or other times just when they want to. Slobber is a big issue with basset hounds. Our Willie always wears a bandana, which helps to catch the drool like a The good qualities of a Basset Hound absolutely outnumber the bad habits some have. Overall, Basset Hounds have a long history and adorable appearance that make them wonderful pets. They are fun, fantastic, talkative dogs with lots of emotions. Through my experiences with Willie, I highly recommend this unique lowrider hound to anyone who's looking for a first-rate companion.